presented by Audi. So excited about the draft. It's, what, like almost exactly 2 weeks away? It's Wednesday today, yes?
It is.
April 11th?
I think it's a fortnight away.
So 2 weeks from today, we'll be going to Dallas.
Yeah.
Reggie, you should come with us.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll definitely try to come to.
You got to dress like Dallas, though, Reggie. I'm going to be dressed like Howdy
So I got to
Doody.
wear some cowboy boots.
Yeah, I know you got it all.
I heard you got some chaps, though, right? You gonna wear
I
some
do.
chaps?
Yes, I
But we're
do.
down there for 3 days. Is this going to be like a one-time outfit, like a one show, one segment? Or are you like, is this like different cowboy outfits for the entire week?
Well, first of all, it's not me. It's we. Okay. We're going to go as a fan. We'll see how it goes. We'll let the people decide.
Kyle had our heads measured for cowboy. I'm not kidding.
Cowboy
that
heads.
actually happened in the middle of a break last week.
Yes.
Somebody came into the measuring tape. I'm like, what's going on?
Did they measure you for Spurs yet?
No.
Because we got to get those are huge, too. You ready, Peter?
Burleson's at home wearing his right now.
All day long. Only Spurs. Yeah, right.
That's Kyle Sarsaparilla Brandt over here. We've got
Sioux
Peter
City.
Traeger, Reggie Bush kicking it with us all week long. We've got a lot of news, guys. The draft is here. We're talking about the Patriots as well. Time for the lead block.
Lead block.
Let's kick it off with the defending AFC champion Patriots. In an interview with The Athletic, Pats owner Robert Kraft had this to say about Tom Brady's contract, and that runs, by the way, 2 more years through 2019. Here's the quote. He'll be 41 when the season starts. Neither side has an issue with it. If it becomes an issue, we'll deal with it. What do you guys make of these comments?
I think it's the Patriots being the Patriots. I mean, I wouldn't put too much into it just because, listen, Tom Brady's 41 years old, like you said.
Yeah.
And through 2019, he'll be 43. So I think what Mr. Kraft is really saying is, let's see if he even wants to play after 43 or if he even can play, because if he does, I can't imagine it'd be more than a year at most. So I wouldn't put too much in the comments, and I would never think that Brady's contract would be an issue.
Okay, but what if? I mean, that's what I'm looking at. What if at some point Brady says, you know what? I want to get paid like the other guys are getting paid. And look, he makes $22 million a deal. No one's crying over Tom Brady's wealth. But do you know who makes more? Kirk Cousins makes more. Jimmy Garoppolo makes more. His old backup, Matt Stafford, makes more. Derek Carr makes more. And right above him on the list, Joe Flacco and Eli Manning both make more. So we've always just said, oh, well, Brady's he takes a team-friendly deal. He makes 22. Well, his wife, he's married to Giselle. He doesn't need them.
I hate that.
Everybody always says that.
The dumbest thing in the world.
I mean, money is money. It is absolutely the dumbest thing.
He doesn't need the money.
It's the dumbest thing ever. It probably means something.
Here's what I'm saying.
Definitely does mean something.
He doesn't need that. He take a team-friendly deal. Well, such a team-friendly deal that they didn't pay Nate Solder.
Right.
They didn't want to pay Amendola what he wanted. They didn't keep Brandon Cooks. Gronk, had a very serious injury in that Jaguars game.
Yeah.
Brady in Time versus Time called it a miracle that they won that game without Gronk.
Yeah.
And of course, the thumb injury before the Jaguars game was like legit. That was Brady's been doing. At what point does Brady maybe want to say, you know what? Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make $10 more million than
Jimmy
me this year?
Garoppolo should give him a percentage of that contract.
Like, what are we doing here? So to me, this is where it gets tricky. Instead of Kraft just saying to Jeff Howe, the writer, hey, whatever Brady really wants, we will make sure Brady gets it. He's saying, well, I guess if we have to, I don't know.
But they've done that through 5 contract extensions. It always happens, and it happens about right now, which is why it's interesting to me. It always happens about 2 years before his deal is up and now goes through 2019. I'm with you on the Giselle argument, and I know that I would love to hear your take on this, because I feel like, yes, he takes team-friendly deals. I don't think we give him enough credit. 15 quarterbacks make more than him, and he hasn't been a top 5 paid quarterback since 2010, and he's been to 4 Super Bowls. He's won 2 since then. It is sort of outrageous. I would want him to get paid, and I understand that other quarterbacks maybe can't afford the opportunity to say, I'll take a team-friendly deal because if they're not married to supermodels that make more than he does. But the fact that he shouldn't take away from the fact that he deserves that money. I think ego is really involved in this as well. Players want to get paid a lot because it shows how much you're worth, and he's never been that guy. I don't think he's going to be that guy. I really think that whatever happens, they're going to take care of it.
Yeah, and I'm far from beating the drum for the Giselle thing. It leads to a lot of dumb jokes, but I do think it affords a certain lifestyle that maybe he wouldn't have otherwise. It's a fun hypothetical to think of Brady finally saying, no, I'm tired of this. I don't think it'll ever happen. I Googled before the show. I Googled Tom Brady contract dispute, and I looked to see if it has ever come up in all his years. In 2010, there was a little thing that was over very quickly, and it was 8 years ago. It's the numbers. And people always say, how do the Patriots do this year after year? It's just Belichick. It's Brady. It's very simple. Last year, you know I'm a big cap guy, capologist. Last year, Tom Brady cost $14 million against the cap. The same number as Mike Glennon. That is how they do it. Brady's great, Belichick's great. The reason they do it is because Tom Brady never says, I want the Joe Flacco deal. To hell be damned. I've won my championships. He won't do it. It will never happen. That's the secret of this Patriots dynasty. Tom Brady's money. That's it.
And then it's not going to happen at 43 either. I mean, let's be honest. Even if it's just
Should
for
it happen
1 year.
at 41 is my question. So you're saying 14 last year, 22 this year. That's not small change to the Patriots. That's a big jump. So do you extend a 41-year-old, Triggs?
It's Tom Brady. Look, Garoppolo and Brissett are elsewhere, right? And that's why the NFL draft is so intriguing to me this year, because they just traded his number 1 wide receiver, Brandon Cooks, and what they get is a first-round pick in return. So now you have the 23 and the 31. If you're thinking, conventionally thinking, what would the Patriots do? What do they need? They need an offensive tackle, a pass rusher, maybe some defensive back play. But what if they draft his successor with one of those 2 picks? Or what if they package those 2 picks and go up and get one of those top elite prospects, whether it be a Rosen or a Darnold or whatever it is? And then we're talking about a fork in the road. Then we're clearly saying we're not building the team around you, Tom Brady. We're building the team around our future of the Patriots. That's when things get tricky. So this quote, we can make a lot about it. We can not. The draft to me is the most important day, the first day of the draft, to see what they do with those 2 picks. That's the most important day in the future of the Patriots over the last 5 years, probably.
But would they be wrong if they drafted his successor? I mean, he's 41 years old, so even if they do draft another quarterback.
Wrong is not the word, but what would you think if you're Tom Brady and all the talent? There was a talent leak out of that building this offseason. Deion Lewis is not there, right? And they're drafting, of all the things, what would you think?
Depends on the price.
He's a reigning MVP.
At some point, they have to do it. I mean, he's 41 years old, and to think that he's even still playing now is crazy, right? But because he's Tom Brady, we've just kind of accepted and grown accustomed to it. But if they draft it, it wouldn't be the worst thing. And I think it actually might be the best thing for him, because they're saying, listen, we're not saying you're done, but we're bringing in a guy who we think you can help us mold for when you are ready to leave.
And they did it with Jimmy Garoppolo, who only really motivated Tom Brady to up his game even more, and his workouts and how aggressive and strict he is with his diet and all sorts of things like that. So maybe he needs that and thrives off it. I mean, if he's such a team player, then he has to embrace the fact that this is part of the game. It's part of the life cycle of the NFL to have people come in. I don't know. It's not going to. I think no way that Brady leaves the game is going to be pretty.
It usually.
I don't know how is there a
happy.
How is it going to be a happy ending? Like, what is the perfect way for Brady? I don't know.
Yeah.
The perfect way would be winning one more Super Bowl and being like, I think that's enough, and I think I'm gone.
He just says bye.
Like a John Elway, maybe a Peyton Manning. It's very rare that it happens that way. They usually have to tear the jersey off.
So if they don't extend him, and I feel like Mr. Kraft is sort of putting it in his hands a little bit. He's saying, oh, if he, I saw Tom versus time. It was interesting. We'll see where he is. His family's growing up. If they don't extend him soon, given the fact that the precedent is that they have 2 years before the contract, should I read into that about what his future is? I don't even know what to think of that.
I don't know. You know, it's
you know what I mean? If they don't extend it.
The dark arts they have up there in New England.
Does that mean that he's like, I'm done?
Dark arts is the perfect word. And now I'm thinking if they bring in the successor, look, it got super ugly with Favre and Rodgers, and Favre didn't want to leave. He resented Rodgers. So I think it all does come back to the draft. If they go and get the guy, it says everything. They show their hand, which they never do.
Speaking of the draft,
yeah,
maybe they trade up and get Rosen.